There's a big misconception about socialization for puppies, and in this video, I'm going to debunk those myths and share my top 7 tips to socialize your puppy, even if you can't go out to meet other people or puppies right now. Before we begin, for the best puppy training tips and tricks, subscribe to the channel. Be sure to hit that bell to get notified when next week's video goes live. Now, don't forget to check out my other social networks as well. You can find those in the description below. Michelle here with How to Train a Dream Dog and the creator of 30 Days to Puppy Perfection, the at-home online puppy training program where you can train your puppy from the comfort of home. Now, you've heard from practically everyone, including your best friend's mother, that socializing your puppy is one of the most important things you can do for your puppy, and that you should start right away. So far, that is all true. What most people really don't know enough about is that socialization is bigger than just exposing your dog to other dogs, in the hopes that they have some positive association and that they love all dogs for the rest of their lives. Who wouldn't love that? Alright, but let's be real for just a second. Just because your dog is exposed to tons of other dogs right away doesn't guarantee that they will love every dog they meet. I mean, do you love every person you've ever met? Now, don't get me wrong, socialization is crucial for puppy development, but it goes beyond just exposing your dog to other dogs. So as world-renowned veterinary behaviorist Dr. Ayanna Reisner put it, socialization is not a one-size-fits-all path to normal puppy behavior in dogs. Do you know the best time to actually socialize your puppy? Well, the most beneficial time to socialize a puppy is between 8 to 12 weeks. Now, if you get a puppy a little later than this, no worries. I don't want you to stress about it. Just start socialization as soon as possible to have the most impact on your pup. Now, it can be beneficial for you to enroll your pup in a puppy class, but since it's probably not a viable option right now, here's how we're going to handle this. When we talk about socialization, we need to go beyond play groups. After all, socialization is all about having fun with our dogs, exploring the world in a positive way. So just stepping out your door is a great way to work on socialization skills. And you don't have to let other dogs sniff your dog or let other people pet your dog in order for socialization to work. If you head outside, you'll likely see tons of things to expose your puppy to, such as cars, trucks, bikes, kids playing, people walking, other dogs walking. Alright, the key is exposure, not immediate interaction. So what are some of the things you can see right now outside your home that you see every single day and probably take for granted, but your puppy hasn't necessarily been exposed to them just yet? Let them explore by climbing in or on or around different things, like fallen trees and eventually playground equipment. Your puppy can be exposed to other dogs and people without actually getting super close to them. As a matter of fact, even if we didn't have a pandemic going on, I wouldn't advise letting people walk up to you and pet your dog, or letting your dog race up to someone else or another dog and interact. Why, you ask? Where's the manners? Our dogs should learn manners and control over their excitable behavior before they interact with someone else. After all, attention and access to something they want can be used as a reinforcement. We don't want to reinforce lunging and pulling towards people and dogs. It's far better to work on your pup's manners right now and teach them how to be calm and focused on you. So, when this whole pandemic is over and it eases up, they're going to be better prepared for interactions with others. Socialization is not just about letting your pup play with other pups, although that is a really good start. In this video, I promised you 7 tips to socialize your puppy during a pandemic. Here goes. Socialization tip number 1, start with the familiar. Like play a hide and seek at your house. You'll want to teach your puppy how to not only chase and find you, never the other way around, but find toys you've hidden around the house too. The object of the game is to acclimate your puppy to different rooms around your home, different floors like carpet, linoleum, tile, and wood, maybe even cement. Each room will have a different feel. Many dogs have difficulty walking on slippery flooring. Teach them that slippery floors aren't so scary by laying a trail of treats throughout the room and encourage them to explore. You see, socialization is about exposure to all things an adult dog might encounter in their life, but all while they are a puppy, and all while you are still in the moldable and impressionable stage. I've seen so many dogs afraid of car rides, groomers, other dogs' playground equipment, all because they never were exposed to these things until they were much older in life. By this point, it's too late. Well, I shouldn't say it's too late, it's just a lot harder to work through when you have an adult dog. Starting while your puppy is young is very beneficial. Tip number 2, field trips to nowhere in particular. Traveling in the car with your dog can be scary sometimes. Take them on a short car ride around the block or maybe to the park. They'll start to make a positive association with the car ride, and they'll get a chance to socialize off their home turf with a variety of situations. Remember, with all this socialization, never force your puppy to experience something they are super nervous about or anxious about. You cannot reason with a puppy like you would a child. So saying things like, "It's okay, it's all right, it won't hurt you," all while petting your pup, this is going to eventually do the opposite of what you want, since petting and soft verbal cues are actually ways we reward a puppy. You don't want to reward your pup for being afraid of something. If your pup has a reservation about something scary, you want to be upbeat, positive, and reward them for any movement in the right direction. Bring their favorite toy and treats on any socialization field trips. You can use these things to help create a positive experience with the whole process. Expose your puppy to different textures by going on walks where there are different surfaces, such as pebbles or gravel, asphalt, or even uneven trails. All right, tip number 3, humans at home. Instead of taking your dog to the dog park, where it can be overwhelming and sometimes dangerous for a young dog to get exposure to other dogs, especially when you don't know who's up to date on all their vaccinations, and maybe even your puppy's not up to date on all their vaccines, I want you to set up a play session with different members of your home. Give each person some one-on-one time with the puppy to play some fun games together. Eventually, when things are back on track and you can socialize with others, you'll want to pick family members and friends outside of your home to visit with your puppy. If you can find 1 or 2 people with a dog around your dog's age or temperament, that will be the best way to introduce your dog to others when this pandemic is over. Now, you can set up play dates with 1 or 2 dogs around your dog's age and size that you know are current on vaccinations and are well-tempered as well. In the meantime, you could be asking friends and family if they have a well-behaved, friendly dog that can play with your dog either at their home or your home when the time is right. Now, your pup should have had at least 2 rounds of vaccines to participate in play dates with those you know. All 3 rounds are needed before your pup should be out in public among dogs you're unfamiliar with. If you don't know anyone with a dog that meets this criteria, ask your vet. They have a record of everybody who's up to date on vaccinations and all about the same age as your pup. They can help facilitate a meetup. Number 4, check out your local hardware store or other stores locally that allow dogs, but where tons of dogs don't actually congregate on a regular basis, like pet stores. We want to save pet store visits for fully vaccinated dogs and dogs that have had some training so they can handle all the distractions in those environments. I usually visit my local Home Depot store and walk around the different departments. I allow the dogs I'm working with to check out different smells, sounds, and people in the stores. We might have to hold off on the people thing. Keep that 6-foot distance. Now, everyone knows we're in training mode when we're there because we're not causing a ruckus with any unruly dogs, and I tend to go there pretty frequently. Even if your pup isn't great at walking on a leash, a shopping cart ride is also a great socialization experience. I do this with the really, really young dogs, and then we go back and work on our leash skills as they mature and get older. Then we can walk around the store and work on leave it and sit and stay, and so on. Number 5, treat tasting. Taste is the most important of the 5 senses. At least your dog thinks so. As long as your dog doesn't have any food allergies, give them different foods with different textures for those treats, like mashed potatoes or mashed banana or crunchy carrots, apples, cucumber, sticky peanut butter, dehydrated sweet potatoes. All right, tip number 6, sound exposure. How many times have you heard a dog that was afraid of the vacuum cleaner, fireworks, loud trucks passing by? Maybe you once had a dog that feared these things. It's an important part of the socialization process to expose dogs to sounds that may be scary, but the key is to make sure they learn early on that those sounds actually mean good things, not bad. So for example, when you first bring your pup home, set up the vacuum cleaner in the other room and have your pup in another room. Grab some tasty treats and tell a friend or a partner to turn the vacuum on just for a moment and then turn it right back off. Now, as soon as you hear the vacuum start, pop some high-value treats in your pup's mouth. Repeat this several times until your pup realizes that the vacuum running means good things are coming. Eventually, the vacuum gets closer and closer to your pup as training sessions progress. I see all too often dogs are afraid of these things because they were never properly exposed to them as a puppy, or someone tried to be funny and play the "I'm gonna get you" game as they chased the pup around till their pup was growling and barking and biting at the vacuum. This same rule applies to thunder as well. Make a game out of hearing the noise instead of reinforcing fear, like I mentioned earlier. Remember, socialization is about creating a fun, positive experience while working on all of the 5 senses. You can expose your dog to outside noises such as light traffic, maybe by picking a quieter neighborhood to go walking in, or you could go to the pet store and expose your dog to the automatic doors. You don't even have to go in and go shopping. The trip in itself, plus the experience, is considered socialization. Get your dog out and about, not only to work on manners and training, but to expose them to people, places, and adventures. Keep your dog on a leash in case they get afraid. A dog's natural response to fear is to run away. You don't want to drag your dog closer to the things they're uncomfortable with, and you don't want them to run away. Make each session as positive as possible, and remember, just because you like something doesn't mean your dog has to. Now, before I share my last socialization tip with you, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do so. And then you'll get notified when next week's lesson goes live. All right, tip number 7. The best socialization skills come from training. And working on your pup's manners and obedience are going to be crucial during this time so that they will be better prepared when it's okay to mingle with others. They will have better listening skills, better focus on you, and be better prepared for all the interactions with others the more you play the training games. For that reason, consider the at-home online puppy training program I offer. I have a link to it in the description below. You're going to learn about the games to teach your puppy to listen to you on cue, avoid distractions, stay focused on you, follow commands the first time you ask, like come and leave it, plus tons of other activities and games to play at home with your puppy to keep you and your puppy busy and working towards the times that you can play and hang out with others. All right, in the comments below, tell me, how are you going to be working on your pup's socialization skills now that you've watched this video?